Life turning pages, night turning days. I'm tired of waiting, I gotta make it.
What's up, y'all? This Relly, y'all back on another video. Yes, son. Today we got to talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers offseason, and we got to talk about what is happening in regards to our first round pick. But before we get into that, I need you to smash that subscribe button. If you're already subscribed to my channel, share it to somebody who ain't subscribed, because with y'all I know I can get there. And when y'all are done with that, I need you to hover over to the like button and smash that too, so we can tell the YouTube algorithm to share this video with the world. But before we get started, I want y'all to watch this clip in regards to our first round pick. This is a person who was a former Phoenix Sun general manager, so y'all can understand what happened in regards to our first round pick this year.
The offseason starts now in Cleveland. You retain your first round pick, the pick that was traded to Indiana in the Caris LeVert trade, which was top 14 protected. Now you keep that. It's going to be a top 14 protected to Indiana in 2023, and then it will turn into a future second. So you have your own first round pick. We all thought that was going to be in the hands of the Pacers.
Now we have an understanding of what happens with a first round pick. We can now truly talk about it. Also too, I'm gonna have the full link, or the link for that video, down in the description box below if you want to see the full video, right? So you can get more context and just get his input of what the Cleveland Cavaliers should do, because this was also his video about what the Cleveland Cavaliers should do for the offseason. Now, like I said, now that we know, we got that understanding of what happens, we can move accordingly, because we know we have a first round pick. We can move it. We could do a lot of different things. But what I think we should do, depending on how far it lands down, because we can very well get a number one pick. It's happened before. We've seen teams like the New Orleans Pelicans that should not have had number one, and they got number one. Shoot, Cleveland knows for 3 years we were supposed to get number one or be in the top three, yet those 3 years we didn't get it. You get what I'm saying? So, but me personally, I think this year, I don't necessarily believe we should draft with this pick. Honestly, I think this should be the year where we actually trade to get a star or a veteran player that really complements this roster, because I just don't think a young guy right now actually helps us unless he's one of those young guys who's transcendent, right? And when I mean transcendent, which I think a lot of y'all understand, a player that's gonna come out the gate and be a LeBron James, a Kyrie Irving, one of those stars where it's like, yeah, that's Zion Williamson, where we gonna be like, yeah, we gotta get that boy, because he's gonna be on a roster for a guaranteed 7 years, and we can run it up. But if we don't see a player like that, I do not think it's a point for us to actually draft that pick, especially if we're not getting a legitimate wing, a transcendent wing. You get what I'm saying? Because I just don't think we got time to really waste, And this is also an offseason where we're going to have to consider paying a couple of guys as well, which is why I'm saying we don't have time to really waste on a draftee, especially if he's not a player we really believe is going to help us, honestly, now. Or you know what I'm saying? Like one of those type of players, because it's seeming like they're going to extend Darius Garland. That makes sense. It's seeming like Caris LeVert could get an extension, which is more than likely this offseason, right? Then we got Colin Sexton, who we got to decide if we're going to give the extension to, but I'm assuming we're going to extend him. So we're extending Caris LeVert, Darius Garland, and Colin Sexton, right? And then we already gave money to Lauri Markkanen and Jared Allen, and we have to make some decisions. We have to make some decisions on what we're going to do with our team, because a lot of people understand that we should have been in the playoffs, right? We play bad. We definitely play bad. We could have had better defense, but our offense also was lackluster. We always knew about our offense was something that needed work. But what really failed us, in my personal opinion, against the Hawks was that defense. I think our defense was not what we've seen throughout the season. I think we gave up a lot of threes, like we were seeing at the bottom half of the season or after the All-Star break, and we fell to the pressure. Because we was up 13, 14 points on Atlanta Hawks, but we sold. Unfortunately, those dreams we had for the Cavs was very quickly turned off, but we still got a chance for next season. We can get our team more developed, get more acquainted to the roster. JB Bickerstaff also has to develop too in his rotations, and I think a lot of people understand it because I like JB Bickerstaff. I'm not agreeing with those who think JB should be fired at this moment, but I do believe JB Bickerstaff has to get better on his rotations and understand who he needs to play, and that's not a very easy thing to do, but it is something he is going to have to learn now, since we know our Cavaliers can make the playoffs. They can make it. They, had it not been for a plan, we would be in. But because it is a plan, we have to keep being hungry, right? And this is not what we've seen from the Cavaliers' bottom half. And I think with this offseason here, like I said, I do think we should trade that pick. Especially if it's not a transcendent star that we see. Tell me down in the comments if you think it is a player out there that's transcendent. But as of right now, I just don't personally believe that keeping that pick is really doing us justice when we have arguably we have too many young guys right now, right? And somebody like myself would argue that we lost because we just didn't have enough enough productive veterans to really get us over the hump, right? Because you've seen teams like, Utah and even Atlanta, teams like that who has built their veterans accordingly. That's helped them. Hornets, even though they missed out, but has helped them build accordingly to get to the next level, right? And I think the Cleveland Cavaliers should do the same approach. Now, like I said, if you ask me what star is available, that's hard because a lot of stars or a lot of players of that magnitude it don't seem like they're asking for trades right now. So we would have to pay very close attention. But whoever that is, we need to find them. We need to find a player like that because we need help. We need help. And then you got Kevin Love who's approaching that contract, so we gotta be alert. Now, if you see the question I have today, I said, what happens now and should we consider a trade, right? Me personally, now some people might ask, what does that mean? Should we consider trading somebody on the roster? And I do believe outside of that pick, like I've said earlier, unless it's a transcendent player, so tell me down in the comments if you think it is this draft. But the person or the player I think we should trade is Cedi Osman. For sure. I do not think Cedi Osman truly has a purpose on the Cavs right now. He's definitely showed us his moments, but I just don't think he works for this roster anymore. Yes, I know somebody would be like, he's a vet, but I don't know if his production as a vet truly helps us. I don't think it helps us for our system. Because there's been more moments where Cedi Osman just wasn't there. Like he was there on the court, but in spirit he wasn't there. And it's really not doing us a service. Like a player like Rubio, like I would recommend trying to get a Rubio back because Rubio had his turned up, you know what I'm saying? But Cedi Osman, I don't think he had the same effect. Maybe we do let Rondo walk. But I think right now, for sure we should trade Cedi Osman. For sure. But down in the comments below, let me know what y'all think we should do. Do you think we should trade Cedi Osman? Do you think we should trade the pick? Let me know how y'all feel about today's video, and I'll try to comment as many people as possible.
That's Atlantis with that money.